talk a little world politics and see what's going on. We'll see if anybody joins us. So the show will be anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour long, depending on what's going on in the folks that decide to join and all along those lines. Pete Hegseth is once again under fire. RadarOnline.com revealed after the Secretary of Defense blocked black and female Navy officers from receiving promotions. The former Fox News personality has already been accused of causing substantial damage to the U.S. military due to his unexpected firings and controversial decisions. So definitely this is something that is going on as well. According to reports, Hedges recently blocked the promotions of 9 Navy officers who a board of senior Navy admirals had previously selected. 3 people Hedges excluded from the promotion list are women, while 2 are black men, 4 others are white men. Following Hedges' decision, several current and former defense officials under anonymity responded and agreed the shockwave was highly unusual. While women, while women make up 21% of the active duty Navy, no female officers were included on the May promotion list. According to the New York Times, the list only included 2 non-white officers, despite 38% identifying as racial minorities. Critics on X were quick to respond to the new report, with one person raging, Pete Hedges doesn't realize this detracts from the credibility of all Navy officers, as they are winning promotions based on their favorable skin color as opposed to merit. He is a disgrace and needs to resign. So Pentagon defends Pete Hedges, race baiting garbage and everything like that. So another user went off. Why isn't this fired? He's terrible. And another said, of course he did. The pastor he invited over to speak to the troops has made it clear that women should not vote and they are here just to breed. Hedges pastor, openly conservative Doug Wilson, previously made his thoughts on women clear, stated if they dressed immodestly, he sees them as sluts. Following the news report, Chief Pentagon spokesman Sean Parnell was quick to defend Hedges, branding the story race-baiting garbage. They continue to push this worn-out narrative because they view almost everything through the lens of race and gender over merit. So we'll see how this all plays out and all along those lines, but that's just one of the stories coming out of the military and all in that kind of space. So we'll see if other folks have other things to say as well. As we said before, military promotions are given to those who have earned them. The department will never consider the color of a service member's skin or their gender as a factor in promotions, is what was being reported out of the Pentagon. Parnell added, under President Trump and Secretary of War Hedges, meritocracy reigns supreme at the War Department. So definitely there's a lot of people that have been talking about that. And of course, we've been talking about that here as well on the network. And we might even begin some people to come in and have some further conversations about what's going on in that space. And looks like Milli Vanilli's Fab Morphin is changing his tune on Freedom 250 concert. Says he too is quitting the circus after Trump's tirade against artists. And then there was one. Going into this past weekend, there were 2 out of 9 artists booked for Freedom 250 concerts in Washington, D.C. They were still proclaiming an eagerness to do the gig, Vanilla Ice and Milli Vanilli's Fab Morphin. Now that the number has been halved, it's Morphin, who said he was still into it as recently as Friday, went on CNN Monday night, declared he's now decided to follow most of the other artists out the exit door. So it looks like he's not going to be participating either. This is not what I signed up for, Morphin said on the news network. When I saw Young MC put out, I was like, well, that's weird. What does he know that I don't know? And definitely, so I was a little worried there. And then one after the next, people started to leave, but I was told by my team, who was told by another team, there's no political alignment. I was there to unite the people, to have them walk down memory lane and celebrate life. It was a way to say, hey, I'm still here, you're still here, let's have a good time together. But throughout the week, it turned into a circus. I'm not into politics, so you hear it here first here. I'm not attending the June 26th celebration. It may be a moot point now anyway, after President Donald Trump posted over the weekend that he would just like to just cancel it, apparently referring to the entire concert series. Whether Trump's Truth Social comment means all the music has been officially canceled or might be still up to a Freedom 250 commission is unclear. But if the series is indeed toast, Morgan says he wants to opt out now. Could be a case of saying you can't fire me because I quit. On Thursday of last week, as other artists dropped out, Morgan was insistent he was sticking with it. I'm here to entertain and unite people, not divide him, he said then. Let's celebrate life and music and take a trip down memory lane, is what he had been saying. Now, in terms of the wrestling match and everything like that is going to be going on, the UFC match, that there is some conversation going on that there might actually be a group of folks from the LGBT community that are going to be coming to this wrestling match, and all along those lines. So I don't know if you saw that, Rick, but I saw that as part of their protest, the LGBT community is going to come out dressed flamboyantly and maybe try to upstage Trump in his own event and everything like that. So I did see that earlier today, that there's a number of activists that are planning to come to the event and dress very flamboyantly in the
So
style.
this UFC fight dealy?
With it, whatever
Sorry, I just came in. I missed what you're talking about.
the Trump fight, isn't that UFC or the?
Yeah, it's UFC. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There's a group of gay activists that are saying as part of this Freedom 250 that they're going to come dressed and everything like that flamboyantly. So they're saying that they're going to come as part of a protest. So apparently there's a number of gay activists that are buying up a lot of tickets.
Yeah, but should they be talking about it ahead of time and giving advance, like they can be stopped by Trump's goons?
That's true. I was surprised that they were letting folks know that far in advance. But yeah, they could be stopped by the goons and everything like that. But apparently Trump is also saying that the judge who blocked his ballroom will be responsible for death and destruction if there's an attack on DC. So I guess, speaking of goons, he's expecting his goons to come to DC to defend his ballroom. So Donald Trump believes calamity will come to Washington DC if his ballroom isn't finished on time, and he threatened to hold a federal judge who is stalling its completion accountable. So in a Sunday Truth Social post, Trump insisted that Judge Richard Leon, who ruled in April that the president lacked legal authority to proceed with his ballroom project, would be held responsible for the death and destruction that will apparently occur if the building is stalled. So I guess he's predicting another January 6th incident. So his people are going to come out and get mad at the judge and get mad that his building is not being built. And I also heard today that they are going to have in July the Correspondents' Dinner. So they did set a time in July and everything like that. So that'll be not this month, but next month. And I think they're trying to say that it won't be held at the place where the incident was taking place, but it might be held at the Waldorf, which he used to own.
Okay. Well, wait, the Waldorf is in New York, so he's going to make everybody go to New York?
Let me see if I can find that story. But they said that he was going to still have the isn't there a Waldorf in DC too? But I'm gonna.
I don't know. When I think of the Waldorf, I think of the one in New York.
I think there's one in DC too, but I'm gonna look it up. But I know that the Correspondents' Dinner is on track and everything like that. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out and everything, because he definitely wants it to still go on and everything like that. And the Press Association also still wants it to go on as well.
Okay. So, all right, let's see. At the Waldorf Astoria,
Right.
which used to be operated by Trump as the Trump International Hotel. So hold on. That still seems like New York to me.
Is it New York? Is he talking about moving it to New York? Because I thought that was always held in D.C.
Well, let's see. There is one in D.C. Oh, wait. Okay. So, yeah, no, this is the one that he owned a few years ago. It's I think it's the former post office or something, I would assume.
Okay. So it's the former post office in D.C.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I think so. Okay. All right.
So that looks good. And so that could be. So Trump is staying in the news constantly. And of course, he wants to be the star. I did see, and that's what I was talking about before you left, that now apparently the only artist that is now remaining in the concert is Vanilla Ice, because Fab Morvan, the half of Milli Vanilli, did pull out today and everything like that. So the only one that's left is his good friend, Vanilla Ice.
Okay. All right.
But now, he said
I thought Trump canceled the concert altogether, that he was just.
He talked about canceling it, but he hasn't officially canceled it. He talked about canceling it. And some people are saying that this will be a chance for him to go ahead and officially cancel it and have his own little party.
Yeah, I mean, he's just an endless fountain of nonsense at this point.
But we just got new nonsense that just came across my headline news. Trump plans to strip citizenship from naturalized Americans, and this hit a legal and logistical barrier earlier today. So President Donald Trump planned to supercharge denaturalization of foreign-born Americans has bumped up against the realities of the legal system and the protection it affords U.S. citizens. So Trump 79 has vowed to make denaturalization a priority, with the Department of Justice compiling a list of 385 foreign-born Americans it wants to target for denaturalization and pressuring attorneys to accept transfers from other departments to work on the case. The administration has filed 35 cases since the start of Trump's second term and says it's laser focused on rooting out fraud in the naturalization process. The cases by the date are far narrower than the administration's aggressive rhetoric suggests, highlighting the legal and practical challenges of stripping Americans of their citizenship, according to analysis from NPR.
All right, so I just looked up how can you do it. So if you're a naturalized citizen, that is, if you started off as not a citizen and became a citizen, then you can be naturalized for these reasons: fraud or willful misrepresentation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so if you lied to get your green card about a criminal past, that you never met the legal requirements for citizenship in the first place, association with subversive organizations like the Communist Party. I don't know, do we still kick people out for that? And dishonorable, if the citizenship was granted based on military service and the individual receives a dishonorable discharge within 5 years of naturalization. So these are all for people who became citizens. If you're a born citizen, you cannot have your citizenship removed involuntarily. You can give it up to become a citizen of another country, but you can't have it stripped from you.
Right, and some people have dual citizenship. I mean, for all I know, Nick may have dual citizenship now with Spain and everything like that. But how crazy can you be, speaking of Trump and everything like that? Because apparently there was a gentleman yesterday that said that he is, and apparently this was reported on some of the White House sites, that he is already planning to be the next person to take out the president. So a New York man is accused of threatening to put down President Donald Trump at his next rally with a quote-unquote bullet in the brain, according to federal prosecutors. So I'm in the process of planning your execution, is what this Brooklyn resident.
All right, so yeah, crazy people will say crazy crap and maybe even try crazy crap. We're a big
fan. He said it on the Contact Us page. So, like most websites have a Contact Us page and everything like that.
All right, well, I mean, that's just a crazy person. Or
that sounds like
a crazy / stupid person. I don't know.
And apparently he was arrested and charged in the Eastern District of New York for knowingly and willfully threatening to take the life of and inflict bodily harm upon the President of the United States. Per the complaint, he was arraigned on May 26th in order to be held pending trial at his release, and saying that he posed a serious danger to any person or the community.
Okay. All right, so
according to an order from detention. So they're saying that he's crazy, so they've got to hold him and make sure that he doesn't do anything stupid like some of these other folks have done and everything. Have we heard anything about the trials? Because, we went and got this guy, what was it, 3 months ago? And I have not heard anything at all. Maybe you've been hearing it on Drudge about the trial of the Venezuela leader. Speaking of folks that have had
Maduro?
Yeah.
I don't know. I assume it's mired in legal maneuvering and it's just not happening yet.
Yeah, because is that what it is? Because how long did because they kept the gentleman Noriega from Venezuela, I think that was Venezuela, in jail forever.
Okay, so he's supposed to show up in court for a hearing on June 30th.
Okay.
So, but this takes a while because this is a huge case against him, and his team needs time to prepare a defense. So here's something that's fairly interesting. So Trump had a cabinet meeting a week ago on May 27th, which was right after he got a glowing report of his health, he claims.
Yeah,
he hasn't had a public event since. Has he appeared publicly? I don't know.
Yeah.
But he hasn't had a scheduled public event.
At all?
When
was the last time he was out public?
He's only been seen in a pre-taped interview.
Wait a minute, isn't that what he was accusing the Iranians of? Because he kept saying that the Iranian
I
leader
don't know.
he kept saying the Iranian leader hadn't been seen. So you're saying that he's having the same thing as the Iranian leader? Because that was his accusation against the Iranian leader, was that they had not been seen in public ever since their father had been killed. Because the father
I
was
don't know.
killed.
But anyway, he hasn't been seen in public.
So
For
he's hiding it too. Now I heard that there was some sort of bulge that was going on in his life as well. So I'm hearing all kinds of crazy things about his medical condition.
what kind of, you said a bulge?
A bulge. I think that they were talking about like the possibility of diapers and stuff like that. There's all kinds of crazy accusations about
So
Trump.
people like to look at his clothing
Right.
and speculate that he may be wearing leg braces to help with his, walking, or I don't know. I forget what else, but that a lot of that is wild guessing. His suit jacket probably contains bulletproof panels.
I would imagine
Some
so.
presidents wear a bulletproof suit jacket, which makes for a bad fit. And his jackets kind of fit like crap anyway. So, I don't know, drawing any kind of conclusions about the way his clothing drapes is wildly speculative.
Very speculative. Yeah, it's incredibly speculative, but people have got all kinds of crazy speculations, including what his doctor may have told him or not told him, and everything like that. But there's a lot of guessing and everything like that. So we'll see how it all plays out and what goes on in that sense.
So let's see what else is happening here. I don't know. I mean, it's still the same nonsense as this morning. There's not a lot of new nonsense. I just go off a Drudge. I'm kind of a single source news consumer at this point. CNN has a story that tourism, that our dickishness to the world has been. CNN says millions of fewer viewers, billions in lost tourism dollars. And then I guess if we scan down, so complete tourism data for 2025 is in, and with the first real year-over-year decline since COVID.
Oh, well.
And the drop in visitors was larger than during the global recession of 2008. And it was travelers cite presidential rhetoric and policies. People don't want to come here and run afoul of the authorities. So total tourism spending decreased from 24 to 2025 by more than $8 billion.
Going down by how much?
They spent, foreign tourists to the U.S. spent more than $8 billion less last year compared to the year before.
Yeah, I don't see that many foreign tourists even here. I wonder if it was impacting the universities, because I know that even here in the apartment complex I work at, I've got a couple of students that are from various parts of the world, like some that are from the Asian countries and some from, I think there's a couple of Latin American and Europeans. The Latin Americans, I think, are working in construction and other jobs, but there definitely are some foreigners that are working in various jobs, but they might even be down in terms of like coming here for jobs and schooling as well. So maybe that's the impact.
All right, so here's more statistics. In the years immediately before COVID, about 80 million foreign visitors came to the U.S.
Oh, wow.
First year of COVID, 2020, that number dropped by 3/4 down to 20 million. In 2021, it slightly recovered to about 25 million. 2022, it came back up to more than 50 million. 23, back up to, I don't know, about 67 million. 2024 recovered to 72 million or so. And then 2025, it dropped from 72 million to under 70 million again. so we've had 6 not great years for foreign tourism, starting with 2020 with COVID. Um,
Well, you follow
this
the
this
medical.
was
Go
this
ahead.
was the first drop since the COVID year of 2020. It's been
Mhm.
crawling back upward until last year when Trump's rhetoric and ICE running amok. None of that makes people want to come to the U.S.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't make me want to come to the U.S. and everything like that. You follow some a little bit about the COVID and what's going on with COVID. So, is there any danger that we're going to have another one? Because that was 5 years, yeah, 6 years ago almost now. That we
So we've been looking at multi-year lows for COVID incidents, uh, the lowest since like year 2 of COVID. Um, because COVID built year over year with bigger spikes every year for the first 3 years of COVID. And then the spikes were maybe biggest in 2022, 23, and they've been going down. And this year is way, way down where we really didn't have much of a Christmas spike at all.
oh, good.
And so, yeah, things look really good. But we've got the World Cup coming.
Right.
That doesn't mean that people are coming to every city, and we may be, our COVID numbers based on poop water, based on sewage, are like 1/4 what they were last year, and so if we're lucky, we won't get much of a back to school spike, and we may, for the second year in a row, may avoid much of a winter Christmas spike.
Yeah, hopefully we'll avoid that. It looks like Malaya Obama is keeping her parents away from her film career. So apparently she was on Michelle Obama's podcast that she does with her uh, brother Craig Robinson and everything like that. So apparently she's not involving her parents in her work and actively maintains distance from them when it comes to film projects. So Michelle said Malaya will never invite us to anything that she does, adding that her daughter is intentional about keeping her creative space away from the whole family situation, independent from her family life and everything like that. So she works professionally under the name of Malaya Ann and is focused on building her own identity in filmmaking. She has been steadily developing her career in the industry, including writing works on Donald Glover's series Swarm and directing the 2023 short film The Heart. So it looks like she's trying to make sure that folks don't think of her as just getting the breaks because of her connection to the former president, but that she's actually trying to develop her own career and everything like
Yeah,
that.
so I had no idea of her career. I don't even know how old she is. Let's see how old she is. So she turns 28 next month.
Right.
That's crazy. She was born on the 4th of July.
Yep.
Well, that's very patriotic. And yeah, she was staff on Donald Glover's series Swarm,
Mm-hmm.
which I haven't. I knew about Atlanta. I've never heard of Swarm, but getting staffed on a show that's a big deal.
That's a very big deal and everything like that. So that's and apparently she's trying to create her own path, which is a good thing to do, and everything like that. So we'll see how this all plays out and whether she can avoid the turmoils of being related to a
No,
famous person. I think Amy Carter did a good job of kind of like going underneath the radar for a long time, and the same for Chelsea Clinton. So it can be done and everything like that. And I guess Barron Trump is trying to go under the radar as well, even though it might be harder for him since he's like what 6'4", 6'3", or something like that. He's definitely a tall.
Barron Trump is like 6'7". He's gigantic.
So he's about the same size as the star from San Antonio in basketball. So I think he's 6'7".
Yeah, I mean, he's not as tall as Wembanyama, but let's see how height. All right, he's at least 6. Is this AI says he's between 6'7" and 6'9"?
And how tall is Victor Wembanyama? I think he's 6'7".
He's between I don't know 7'4",
Oh,
7'5".
right. Yeah, you're right. He's 7 feet. You're right. He's 7 feet. I didn't remember that. Now that you said that and everything like that. So yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how. But yeah, I don't know.
Okay, yeah. So Wembanyama is 7'4" according to AI, and he's got an 8-foot wingspan, which is, if you had him stretch out his arms from fingertip to fingertip, that's 8 feet, which that's worth another couple inches in terms of, because
Well, a couple of the basketball goals that I saw, because I watched a couple of those games, it was practically like he was dropping the ball in the net.
Right.
Almost as tall as the net and everything. So it was almost like he was dropping the ball in the net like you would when you were playing grade school ball, and they had those little junior nets that were down at about refrigerator level.
Right, but the crazy thing about Wembanyama is he's good from 3-point land.
Yes.
You'd expect that a tall guy would, post up under the basket. Like I believe, now I don't know because I'm not good at knowing sports, but I believe Shaq at 7 foot, he would, or 6'11", whatever he was, he did a lot of his business around the basket, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but Wembanyama's dangerous from 25 feet away, which makes people think he might be the next all-time great player.
Yeah, I mean, and there's been a couple of other great players from San Antonio. I used to be a fan of Tim Duncan, who played there as well, and there were a couple of other great players that played in that area as well. So, like I said, he could be bringing San Antonio back to its glory days and everything like that. So let's see how that goes. But yeah, it looks like he's trying to bring it back to the glory days.
And so I just kind of cruised by ESPN this morning, and the people on ESPN, maybe they're biased, maybe they're from New York, but they were predicting Knicks in 6.
Knicks in 6?
Well, yeah, but I don't know. Is that everybody?
A lot of people are predicting Knicks in 6, but definitely San Antonio will be a tough opponent for them as well. But yeah, I think a lot of people are predicting the Knicks.
But AI says the Spurs are the clear favorites. Betting series with the series odds hovering around -200. -200, I think, gives them like a 2/3 chance according to predictions, right?
Yep.
So, all right. So.
Yep. So definitely that could be going on in that case. So that could be in the wood. What are the odds saying about the Canes, because they start their series today?
I think Vegas is favored.
I think Vegas is favored because they've got a strong player and everything, so they may be.
So let's see. So though the odds against the Hurricanes are less, they're not as bad. They're at -155, which gives Vegas a 61% chance of winning. So
I know that Steven Spielberg has left and everything like that, but I did see an interesting article before he left where Steven Spielberg says he wants to be Earth's alien ambassador. And of course, he had a lot of success with alien movies and everything like that. So he's thinking that he could be uniquely qualified to serve as Earth's official ambassador should we ever have any situation.
So I don't know. I kind of think that Spielberg really thinks that aliens are out there in a way that, we might be able to contact them.
Right.
I don't believe that because I just believe that that there are a bunch of factors. I believe that the universe and our galaxy is full of life,
right,
and quite a few civilizations. But I believe that there are factors that weigh against aliens coming to visit us. That's assuming.
So you're not buying the theories of Mork or Alf, which were two TV series.
No, I mean the only thing that makes Galactic Empire worlds work, the Star Trek world, the Star Wars world, the only thing that makes them possible is being able to travel faster than the speed of light.
Right.
Without that, the travel times between stars are just brutal. Like so, on Star Trek they can do warp drive, and I don't know, how, how. Let's see. So, warp speed is multiples of the speed of light. And warp 1 is the speed of light. But even at warp 1, it takes 4 years to get to the closest star. Warp 5 is 214 times the speed of light. So that would still take to get to the closest star is 1/5. It would take a week to get to the closest star. So, even in the Star Trek world, unless you want to push your starship to a dangerous speed, it takes a while to get places.
Yeah, it definitely takes a while to get places and things like that.
But in real life, we would be lucky. It would take great technological expertise to travel even 1% of the speed of light using current tech, which means that getting to the closest star and then getting back from that star would take 800 years.
Yeah, and I don't know. There's also been this whole notion in science fiction of time travel and going back in time. So I don't even know if that's theoretically even possible. You're the very much person with the mental connection and everything.
All right,
like
so
that.
here's the deal. Here's the frickin' deal. All of this is possible in simulated worlds.
Right.
And in the future, virtual reality is going to get better and better. And with not just visual input, but auditory, obviously, and then tactile input. And then there's this thing called teledildonics. They're going to need a better name for that, which is the ability to have remote sex with somebody using simulation hardware. So all this stuff will happen, and you'll be able to live in a Star Trek type universe, or time travel. If you want to live in Victorian England, if you want to meet Jane Austen 30 years from now, you'll be able to do that. If you want to live in the year 2500, if you want to bounce back and forth, if you have regrets about your own life and you want to revisit moments in life and redo them, all that'll become possible in simulation.
Just in simulation. So, like, if there were bad relationships, because I know I've had a few of those. You're married, so you probably forgotten all of yours and everything like that. But if there were bad relationships that I wanted to do a do-over with, I could do that in simulation, but I couldn't do it in real life because those people have moved on. I have moved on and stuff like that. But if I wanted to have a simulated situation where I made amends or they made amends, then those things could happen. If there were things that were done that didn't need to be done, we could go back and change those. Right. Only be in simulation and everything like that. I just want to know, did you and your wife get a invitation? Because I did see that they have put out a few of the invitations, including those that did not get invited to the Kelsey Swift wedding and everything like that. So I did see that there are a few names that have been accepted the invitation, including Zoe Kravitz, Ed Sheeran, and Cherry Seaborn, Selena Gomez, and Benny Blanco. And of course, there's some other folks that have not been invited. It goes Miles Taylor, Kaylee Sperry, and Carly Kloss did not get invited. And of course, following some legal battles, there's some.
All right, so the wedding,
like Justin Baldina, Taylor's pal Blake Lively, and her husband Ryan Reynolds, and everything.
All right, so the wedding is on July 3rd, New York City.
Okay. I thought they said either July 3rd or July 4th. I knew it was one of those.
And apparently, the 4th of July is Taylor Swift's favorite holiday. Okay. So apparently, the wedding's scheduled to lead into a festivities. I've been to one celebrity wedding, and I don't know. I found the whole thing. I'm not good around celebrities. I get nervous and I get awkward and like living in LA, you run into famous people and the best thing you can do is act like they're not famous, if you're introduced, say hi, nice to meet you, and then just get out of there, and before you say something stupid. And so
I mean, most famous people that's what they want. Because, like I said, I've been going for decades to the National Black Theater Festival. It used to be held in odd years, and now it's held in even years. So it'll be held this year. I believe it's scheduled for either August or September, and I am planning to still go to it and everything. And I've met some folks that have passed on. Like I used to see Ruby Dee and Ossie Davis and Mickey Grant, who did "Don't Bother Me, I Can't Cope," and a number of other things.
Well, you're a professional host. You're an MC, so you can handle it from a professional point of view.
Right. Yes.
And I could handle it when I worked on a talk show from a professional point of view most of the time. I could get through my job, which was helping make a piece. Say a guest comes on the show, and we're going to do a comedy piece with them, and I'm there as the writer, and there's a director, and we get through it, and sometimes they don't notice that I'm a weirdo, right? That was fine. But in private interactions, it's like
and sometimes they just want to be recognized as normal people. I mean, John Amos, when he was living and he was part of the Good Times family and everything like that, he would come down to the National Black Theater Festival, and he was very much an adamant drummer. So he would join the drum circles and everything like that. And as I've told you before, Petrie Bird, who I'll actually have on my show, I think in June or July and everything like that, I mean, the online dinner party, he would host a party, and he would regularly invite me to come to that party because it was like the celebrity party to go.
Right, so let me just give an example. I'll give an example where I didn't even make a fool of myself, but the vibes were terrible. So this celebrity wedding that we got invited to was at a resort, and the resort had a gym. And I have OCD where I have to go to the gym all the time, like many times a day. Like if I go out to dinner with my wife at a hotel restaurant, and there's a few minutes between putting in our order and the meal coming, I will sneak away and try to sneak into the gym and do a dozen sets because I'm a lunatic. So at this celebrity wedding, I snuck off to go to the gym. And I walk in there, and it's empty except for a very famous woman who is known to be kind of averse to, she doesn't go out in public a lot. And I came because I needed to work out. Right. But I get in there and I start doing sets, and I get this vibe off of her where she's like, what the fuck is this rando doing in this gym? And I felt that vibe off, and I understood her whole deal, where she doesn't want to, have any kind of interactions because, her interactions have often been like yucky with like paparazzi and other shit. And I just wanted to do my sets, but I hated the vibe in there where I was making her uneasy. And, I couldn't really say to her, I've got OCD and I have to work out all the time, and I'm sorry, and I'll be out, that would have been weird too. So I just did a few sets as fast as I could, and I got the fuck out of there. But so
that makes sense. And sometimes
I've always wanted to get famous myself so I could meet people at their level, because I feel like if you get reasonably famous, you can maybe meet other famous people without as much weirdness. Maybe not. Maybe it's always weird.
Well, like I said, I saw this clip and I couldn't tell who the celebrity was, but I think it was a rocker. But they were, I guess they were at the wrong seat at an NBA game. So they were actually being ushered to, I guess, what was their correct seat and everything like that. But yeah, you could tell that they were a little bit of discomfort because I guess they were kind of up in age because it was an old rocker and I couldn't recognize who it was. and everything like that. But it looked like they were maybe out of place, and so they were trying to get them into the correct place and everything like that. But you are about to be famous. You're already famous to some degree because of your connection with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and a number of other things as well. But I think you're going to have major fame when you have your book friend. This movie that you're going to turn into a book about the whole virtual world that you're creating, this lovely book that you talked about.
Yeah, if I ever finish that frickin' book, sure. But yeah, I mean, but sometimes celebs are delightful. Like I don't know, one time I was bouncing a bar, and it was, I don't know, I think it was Oscars night, and like late the bar was, it was like midnight, and Kiefer Sutherland came in with Daniel Stern, the guy from the Home Alone movie. And they were shit faced, and they were super fun guys, and it was like they're being already cocktailed up, kind of took the celebrity weirdness off of everything.
Took that weirdness off and everything like that, because then, like you said, celebrities can have their moment. I did run across a major celebrity at that same event I was talking about, and they were a little bit uptight and definitely did not give that vibe that I got from a lot of celebrities that were basically that we put our pants on one leg at a time, just like you do and everything. But yeah, there was a female celebrity that might have had a little bit of more of a kind of prima donna attitude and everything like that. And of course, this was years ago when she had a major hit and everything like that. So she has not had a hit in a while. So maybe now she has calmed down and everything. But yeah, a lot depends on what's going on in their career and at the time and everything,
and also what's going on in their personal life.
Right, exactly.
Like generally, I mean, celebrities are people, and they're generally nice. And sometimes when they're not nice, they have completely justifiable reasons to not be nice. And even if they don't have a good reason to not be nice, it's not necessarily our business to police behavior. Yeah. I mean, everybody does. Everybody's like eager to spill the tea on stuff. But
people are eager to spill that tea and everything. Speaking of spilling tea, it's been a good discussion about celebrities and a little bit about politics. But we're going to get on out of here.
Okay, all right.
The show around history and all along those lines, because that comes up at 6:00 and everything like that. But we got to a good 45 minutes, which is what I was trying to do.
All right. I will see you tomorrow morning. Thank you.
All right, see you tomorrow morning.